Most business owners think that in a year of disruption, they need to pick the winning horse. Which tech will explode? Which trend will dominate? Which asset class will run? Which company will win? That is how most people think, and that is also how many people lose, because in a volatile year, the question is not only which horse is fastest, the question is, where are you standing? Are you holding the reins? Are you standing safely at the side? Are you sitting in the cart? Or are you standing in the middle of the track while shouting, I believe in opportunity? Very inspiring. Also, very dangerous. That is why in Firehorse 2026, I don't want you to pick winners. I want you to pick your position, because the Firehorse year is not asking you to guess harder. It is asking you to position better. Bozzy tells you the weather. Keyman tells you where to stand. Period 9 tells you whether people can see and trust you. If you understand these three things, you stop reacting to every headline like a nervous chicken with a stock portfolio. Most people see headlines and react. Trade war, AI boom, new IPO, regulation, currency movement, property cooling measures, interest rates, market panic. Then they buy, sell, pivot, panic, post something dramatic online, then call it strategy. That is not strategy, that is noise wearing a suit. In a Firehorse year, noise gets louder. Fire brings visibility, horse brings speed, so everything feels urgent. But urgent does not always mean important. A fire alarm is loud. A child screaming in a shopping mall is also loud. Different problem, same volume. Your job as a business owner is to know the difference. Firehorse 2026 carries a very hot image. Fire on top, horse below. That means speed, visibility, movement, pressure, emotion, reaction, attention. But the annual pillar itself does not show visible water. So the image is not calm water. It is not smooth flow. It is not slow and steady liquidity. It is heat, movement, dryness, speed. Now please understand this properly. This does not mean money disappears. Don't run around telling people, no water, no money. That is not Bozzy. That is panic with Chinese characters. Wealth element depends on your daymaster. Water is not wealth for everyone, but at the annual energy level, no visible water tells us something important. The year is not naturally soft, calm, or fluid. Money becomes more selective. Opportunities still exist, but they don't flow equally to everyone. They flow toward trust, clear positioning, strong leadership, useful brands, reliable systems, people who know what they are doing, not people chasing every shiny trend like a cat chasing a laser pointer. So if your strategy is, I must find the next big thing, you may already be late. Because by the time everyone calls it the next big thing, the queue is already long. The price is already high. The smart money may already be looking for the next door. This is why I say, don't pick winners. Pick your position. Think of a storm. If heavy rain is coming, the smart person does not argue about which raindrop will land first. The smart person checks the roof, closes the windows, moves the furniture, prepares the umbrella. Same with business. Do not waste all your energy trying to guess which trend will win. Ask better questions. Where is my strongest position? Where is my safest position? Where can I move quickly? Where should I wait? Where should I stop wasting energy? Where is trust rising? Where is the door opening? Where is the crowd already too late? That is positioning. Let me make this very simple. Bozzy is the weather. Chi-Men is the map. Period 9 is the spotlight. Bozzy says, this is the climate. Chi-Men says, stand here, move there, use this door. Period 9 says, people can see you now, so don't look messy. That is the whole thing. Simple. But apparently people still prefer making business decisions by panic, gossip, and whatever someone shouted on YouTube yesterday. Wonderful species. In Bozzy, when the weather changes, you adjust. If the weather says heavy rain, you don't stand outside and complain that the sky is negative. You bring an umbrella. If the weather says hot and dry, you don't plant the wrong crop and blame destiny. You choose the right crop. You manage the soil. You prepare for heat. Firehorse 2026 is hot. So don't bring a slow, lazy strategy into a hot, fast year. You will struggle. If your business relies only on constant growth, constant shouting, constant launching, and constant chasing, this year will test you. Because Firehorse exposes weak systems faster. Weak teams crack faster. Weak positioning becomes obvious faster. Weak decisions become expensive faster. Firehorse does not always create the problem. Many times, It just highlights what was already weak, like sunlight entering a messy room. The sun did not create the mess, it just made denial harder. Very inconsiderate of the sun, but useful. Now Chi-Men gives us the next part. Chi-Men does not ask who is strongest, it asks who has position. This is very important. In business, the biggest player does not always win. The loudest brand does not always win. The person with the most money does not always win. The person in the better position often wins. Think of chess. The strongest piece is not always the one moving. Sometimes the strongest move is waiting. Sometimes the strongest move is forcing the other side to move first. Sometimes the strongest move is not attacking. It is controlling the board. That is Chi-Men thinking. So in 2026, stop asking only which market will win. Ask, where should I position? Should I attack? Should I hold? Should I reposition? Should I partner? Should I cut? Should I build? Should I wait? Should I enter through another door? This is how you stop reacting to noise. You start reading position. Let's say everyone is talking about AI. Good. AI is important, but don't just ask which AI tool will win. That is the wrong question. Ask, where is AI creating real demand? Where are my clients confused? Where is their pain? Where can I build trust? Where can I solve a problem faster? Where can I use AI to improve my delivery? Where can I create a stronger offer? Where is the money door for me? Because not every AI opportunity is your opportunity. Some doors are good doors, just not your doors. A luxury shop is a good shop, but if you sell chicken rice, don't rent the space and call it positioning. That is not bravery. That is expensive confusion. Don't just ask, which property will rise? Where is demand moving? Where is infrastructure changing? Where is supply tight? Where is tenant profile improving? Where is policy pressure? Where is timing favorable? Where is my risk controlled? The winner is not always the person who buys the hottest thing. Sometimes the winner is the person who enters the right place before it becomes obvious. Same with business. Don't just ask, which trend should I follow? Ask, what is my unfair advantage? What audience already trusts me? What problem do I solve better than others? What offer fits this timing? What message must I sharpen? What system must I fix before I move faster? That is positioning. Now, period 9 makes this even more important. Period 9 is fire, is visibility, attention, reputation, screens, AI, video, virtual identity, personal brand, trust. In period 9, people often see you before they meet you. They see your post, your profile, your website, your comments, your WhatsApp message, your Zoom background, your face, your tone, your speed of reply, your clarity. This becomes your front door, not just your office, not just your physical shop. Your digital presence is now part of your business feng shui. If your digital front door is messy, unclear, or dead, people may never enter. Then you blame the algorithm. The algorithm is not your mother. It will not lovingly explain your business to strangers. So in period 9, visibility is not enough. Car crash is visible. That does not mean you want to become one. The real test is trust. When people see you, do they trust you? When they hear you, do they understand you? When they visit your page, do they know what you offer? When they watch your content, do they feel you can help them? When they join your community, do they feel there is value? That is period 9. Not just be seen clearly. Be seen with trust. Now let's bring this back to your business. In Firehorse 2026, if you try to pick winners, you may become reactive. You watch news, you chase trends, you copy competitors, you follow market noise, you keep changing direction. Your team gets confused, your clients get confused, you get tired. Then you say, the market is difficult. Maybe, but maybe your positioning is weak. If your business keeps changing direction every time the market moves, people stop trusting you. Imagine going to a restaurant and every week the owner changes the menu because he saw a new food trend. Monday, sushi. Tuesday, nasi lemak. Wednesday, vegan steak. Thursday, Korean tacos. Friday, spiritual noodles. Eventually, customers stop coming. Not because the food is bad, because nobody knows what the restaurant stands for. That is what happens when business owners chase winners. They lose identity. Positioning gives you calm. It tells you what to say yes to. It tells you what to ignore. It tells you where to place effort. It tells you who to serve. It tells you what door to enter. It tells you what timing fits your next move. Without positioning, Every opportunity looks tempting. With positioning, which one is yours? That saves money, that saves time, that saves your team from watching you reinvent the business every Tuesday. So here is the strategy. Number one, stop looking at competitors as if they know what they are doing. Some of them are just panicking with better branding. Look at your own cycle, your own chart, your own timing, your own audience, your own offer, your own cash flow, your own team, your own positioning. Because if you copy someone else's move without knowing their timing, you may be using their medicine for your illness. That rarely ends well. Number two, separate noise from signal. Noise is what gets attention. Signal is what creates direction. Customer behavior is signal. A viral trend is noise. Repeated buying pattern is signal. Competitor drama is noise. Your own sales data is signal. Random market fear is noise. Real cash flow pressure is signal. In Firehorse 2026, noise becomes louder. So you must become better at hearing signal. Otherwise, your strategy will be controlled by the loudest thing in the room, and the loudest thing in the room is often the least useful, like some meetings, tragic little theater productions. Number three, check your trust position. In period 9, trust becomes wealth. Not just attention, trust. Do people trust your voice? Do they trust your offer? Do they trust your delivery? Do they trust your leadership? Do they trust your timing? Do they trust that you can help them make better decisions? If not, fix that before you chase more visibility. More traffic to a weak offer does not create growth. It creates more people discovering you are unclear. That is not marketing. That is public evidence. Number four, use she-men thinking. Ask, where is the door? Not where is the crowd. Where is the door? Where is the life door? Where is growth? Where is demand? Where is value being created? Where is the next opening? Where can I move with less resistance? Where can I get better support? Where can I reposition without wasting energy? Most people look for money. Strategic people look for the door that leads to money. Big difference. Money is the fruit. Door is the path. If you stand under the wrong tree, don't complain there is no fruit. Number five, prepare before pressure becomes obvious. Preparation always feels unnecessary until it becomes priceless. Nobody thanks the umbrella on a sunny day, but when the rain comes, everybody wants one. So before the Firehorse pressure rises, prepare your positioning, clarify your offer, sharpen your message, strengthen your follow-up, clean your cash flow, build trust, create useful content, nurture your audience, fix your sales process, build your community. Because when volatility comes, people do not run toward the loudest person. They run toward the clearest person, the person they already trust, the person who has been showing up, the familiar voice, the steady hand, the one who doesn't look like he discovered strategy 5 minutes after the crisis started. This is why I created the Destiny Architect Telegram chat, not just for updates, not just for random posts. It is a place where I share timing insights, Bazi patterns, Chi-Men strategy, period 9 shifts, Feng Shui thinking, and practical business positioning. Because watching one video is useful, but nurturing your timing awareness over weeks and months is more powerful. You need a place to keep checking. What is the monthly energy? What should I focus on now? Where is the pressure? Where is the opportunity? What should I stop doing? What should I prepare next? And if you are a business owner, consultant, trainer, coach, advisor, investor, or professional trying to navigate 2026, this is exactly the conversation you want to be inside. The link is in the pinned comment. Join the Telegram chat. Start with one word, position. That tells me you came from this video. And if you want to go deeper, if you want to know how this applies to your own Bazi chart, your business timing, your decision cycle, or your next strategic move, you can inquire about a private consultation there. Because general timing gives you the weather. Your own chart tells us how you should move through that weather. Big difference. A rainstorm affects everyone, but the person with a roof, umbrella, car, and destination handles it differently from the person barefoot in the street holding bubble tea. Same weather, different preparation. So don't pick winners. Pick your positioning. Don't ask only which tech will win, which trend will win, which asset will win. Ask, where should I stand? What should I build? Who should I serve? What should I stop chasing? What door should I enter? What timing fits my next move? Because in Fire Horse 2026, speed will increase, visibility will increase, pressure will increase, noise will increase, but clarity becomes more valuable, trust becomes more valuable, positioning becomes more valuable. And the person who understands timing does not need to run after every horse. They know which gate to stand near. That is the game. So here is my question for you. Is your current strategy built on force or is it built on timing? Put one word in the comments: force or timing. And if you want to continue this conversation, join the Destiny Architect Telegram chat. The link is in the pinned comment. Type position when you enter. And if you want a private consultation to see how these timing patterns apply to your own business, your own chart, and your own next move, inquire inside the Telegram chat. This is not fortune telling.